When I was 18 years old, I was so psychotic when it came to training. Like, I told this story before, but when I was 18, my dick stopped working. Okay, and I, basically, imagine 18 years old, you have a girlfriend, your girlfriend comes, you're in college, in your dorm, and I'm like, my dick's just like,
Dad.
Did you?
I'm like, what the? I'm like, what's happening? Like, I wanted to have sex. I'm doing it all, bro. That bitch is like, it's done. So I'm like, what's going on? So at 18, I'm like, this should not be happening. So I went to my doctor. He looks at me, like my primary care doctor back at home, and he's like, what have you been doing? Because like,
you're gay, brother.
No, no, he looks at me, but my face is super drawn in. He could tell that I wasn't eating enough. So I'll explain what happened. I was so, this is when I was so psychotically into training, but all I knew about was like train hard and train a lot. I didn't know about diet. I didn't know about any of this stuff. Like but it was also to the point where I had like really bad relationship to it. Cause it was like this never enough. Like genuinely, when I tell you this, if I ate something, I had to go do 50, 100 push-ups.
Cause you thought you were gonna get fat?
Yeah. Like dude, to the point where 100% of the time, I'm talking about me laying down, going to bed, I try to keep my abs tight because I had abs. So I was like, if I don't do it, like, I was like, like right now my abs are tight, right? Right now they're relaxed. If they weren't tight, I was like, I'm going to get fat. I'm going to lose
mental
them.
Negative talk.
It was so bad, bro. Like I'm talking about I can't even explain this to you. Like if I was anywhere and I ate food, I'm in the bathroom doing like push-ups and like.
Cause you wanted to be jacked.
I was just a fucking psycho, but I liked how I started to look. And then I was so addicted to like, I need to, like, I'm doing these things, I have to keep doing them. And I had this idea that like, I have to keep doing it. I had like a set of curl bars in my dorm and then like dumbbells, and any time I had any free time, I'm like doing curls all day.
Damn.
So it became like a really unhealthy obsession. And at the same time, I was like, okay, what's healthy? No fat cottage cheese, no fat period, spinach, blueberries, chicken, no fat. Like everything was no fat. Everything was like, it wasn't smart. Like this was a irrational thinking that like, oh, I got to eat no fat and I got to eat protein and like that's
that was
it.
big back in at that time.
Yeah,
no fat.
And so I was eating like literally this is what I was eating spinach, blueberries, and I'm not telling you guys to do this. This was a terrible idea. My dick stopped working, so don't take this as advice.
It sounds like my cutting weight regimen though.
Spinach, blueberries, chicken, zero fat on that bitch. No fat cottage cheese, oatmeal, dry, and that was it. Like every single day. And I was eating, it was terrible.
Why aren't you subscribed yet?
Every night at 7 o'clock, I would go on the American River because that's where I lived in Sacramento State. By the way, I stayed at Desmond Dorm, so if you guys are there, shout out that whatever.
Somewhere,
so the American River, yeah, I definitely jizzed a few places. Once I fix this.
In every dorm,
I would go out every night at 7 o'clock and do wind sprints on the American River, and I would like pick a thing and like sprint to it, pick a thing and sprint to it, and I would do it every single night. And then I'd get on my BMX bike, and I'd ride like 30 minutes to the gym. I'm not fucking playing with you, which was like 30 minutes away right after this. And then I would do cardio for like 30 minutes, and then I'd work out for like 2 hours, ride my bike back. And then I was still a psycho. I'd be like playing video games and be like abs tight the whole time.
Push-ups and intermittent.
Push-ups if I had any snacks. And
that's
then,
crazy because you never fat at a point where
I don't know what it was, man.
Just want to be shredded.
Once I started getting it, I was like, I can't lose it. If I don't do what I'm doing, and if I don't do what I keep doing, what I've been doing, then it's gonna disappear.
Damn.
I remember thinking, I'm talking about literally going to bed, keeping my abs tight. That was a severe problem. So anyways, I got to the point where I did it so much for so long that I remember waking up even in the middle of the night, and I'm like pissing like 10 times. I'm waking up every like 20, 30 minutes peeing because my body's basically like eating itself. I learned later on, it's like breaking down the muscle tissue and like it's becoming toxic and it needs to pee. Like that's what I was doing to myself. So at that point in my life, right when my dick stopped working, then I was like, okay, I went to the doctor. He's like, yo, are you okay? Like, are you sick? Are you eating? Because
you probably thought you were healthy because you were shredded.
Yes, exactly. Because I'm doing all this stuff. And so long story short, that's when he was like, yo, you got to like eat more because like you look unhealthy. And I didn't realize it until he said it. And then I picked up a nutrition book and started to learn about like hormones and dieting and macros and micros and how the body works. That's when I was like, oh shit, I've been doing this wrong. I started to learn about it because I'm sure I completely started to crash my hormones. Yeah. 100%. And that's when I learned about all this stuff, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, all that stuff. And the way it relates to what you eat and how much you eat and all that shit. And that's what really got me started on like actually knowing what to do and like how to do it. And then there was a period after, once I did that, I kind of got a little chubbier, not fat, but I was like more chubby and I was like a little uncomfortable. But then like once I figured it out, it was like, boom.
Where it was
Then I
just fucking
woof.
big.
Then I just started getting like muscular, started looking thicker.
Being
I
able to
started-
fuck
My
again.
dick fucking was like a fucking rock, dude. But that took a while. It took
Yeah,
like
I'm
six
sure.
to
sure
8
it did.
months for it to come back.
Because did that doctor test everything and be like,
No.
you're fucked here, you're fucked here?
No, I didn't. It wasn't so relevant back then. Testing. It was probably just like, yo, you need to eat
Look
more.
unhealthy.
He could
You
just
look
tell
at
by
how.
looking
Yeah,
at you, yeah.
yeah. And I'm so young that like if I get into it, obviously they'll be like, okay, you know, you'll fix it just with like changing your habits. Not that he told me which habits to change. I figured it out on my own, but he basically was like, you're not eating enough.
Yeah.
So that was honestly like one of the biggest learning points in my life, and I'm grateful for that, even though it sucked.
It's crazy. That's how it always works.
Yeah.
Like it always has to be that.
What's up, Sugar Squad? If you like this video, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and click down below to check out the full episode and subscribe to be a part of the journey.